Oh man, I've got to record a vid. Wake up at 9, and then go to bed at about 1, and then get up again at 4, 5. But for me, I don't really want to because I of peace. Because after 9 o'clock, it's usually very quiet in the house. Everyone's watching a film, or they'll go to bed at about 10, my parents, I mean. And so I can normally crack on and... How's it going, everyone? Hope you're okay. My name is Sean. So, what happened was, last night I recorded a video. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I really wanted to play Getting Over It. Okay? Because I bashed my desk that I uploaded on the how to make a green screen video, I had to recreate my OBS settings. Now, what happened was this. My OBS settings, advanced audio properties. So basically what I did was I recreated my video capture device, which is obviously this camera here, right? And what happened was all of these ticks, but these tracks were ticked. So what happened was, because my microphone has a little delay on it, I've set a 300 millisecond delay, which is, you know, not very much. But because these two were ticked, it overwrote the audio. So in both of the tracks have another layer of audio, because you can't actually turn it off when you go into properties and you go into here, because it wants to capture the audio anyway. You can change it to desktop audio, but obviously why would I want to do that? So I just sort of left it at that and then just disabled the track. I didn't realise, and I was recording for a good solid hour, and I was really happy with the video, and it just busted. It just didn't work, and I'm genuinely pissed. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some clips here very quickly. The clip that I'm currently showing on the screen is a picture of a very nice, smooth transition between the top of the boxes onto the bit where you have to knock off the orange off the table and then go up. That was very nice. And also, we got further than we did before. We managed to jump up on top of this crow thing, and we found that there was like a hand. Now I assume this hand, you got to try and obviously get your axe onto it and up. But by the time that I jumped, I didn't see it quick enough, and there was no chance of me hitting it, and I fell back down. All right, let's go again. Let's go again. I'm going to try and talk about the same points I made in the video, but to be honest, I was really happy with the video, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do half of as good of a job as I did on the video, but I'll try my best. My sensitivity is really low. There we go. Okay, so I spoke a little bit at the start about confidence. Now I'm going to actually jump over that. If I may. I'm going to talk about that in another video now. It was all supposed to be the same video, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's whatever. But the main points I spoke about was the two people in my life who have really made a real difference to me over the past couple of years, and those people are Red and Blue. Now I've spoken about Blue before. Blue is someone who I work with, and she is very unique and one in a million. She's a bit older than me, although she doesn't look it, and her job is basically all to do with health and fitness. Now, she said that I'm allowed to talk about her in my videos, which is fantastic, but she doesn't want me to give away too much of her identity, so that's absolutely fine. I will just sort of leave it at that she's into health and fitness, if that's okay. And so basically, she's been there since March. She's been sort of my COVID lockdown buddy. She says that I've been there for her a lot. I think she's been there for me a lot more than I have for her, but that's just my opinion, because she's really helped me, because obviously with Sapphire obviously being out of the picture and me having more time to myself, obviously it means that I'm thinking a lot more about everything. So she's really been there for me. She's really, yeah, she's been absolutely incredible. And I kind of tried to thank her. I bought her a laptop, because she wanted to do some like video editing and stuff like that. So I bought her a laptop, and just to sort of say thank you. It wasn't really for anything else. It was just sort of as a thank you present, and just to sort of like explain without words what she meant to me. So I got her that. Oh, completely missed it. Completely missed it. And so she's great, and we've been having a lot of conversations recently about sort of like hypothetical questions. There's not really a word for it. I've been trying to find some more on the internet, but I've been having some real difficulties in doing so. So basically, the questions that I kind of asked her was, if you have one lasagna and you have another lasagna and you put the lasagna on top of a lasagna, is it one lasagna or is it two lasagnas? Now, I think it's still two lasagnas. She seems to think it's one. Now, logically, it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. And I want to explain why it doesn't. Because if you've got a lasagna, you've got your base, you've got your meat, and your tomato sauce, and you keep going up and up and up and up. Eventually, the top layer is going to come on your lasagna number one. And what will happen is you'll have like a cheese topping on top, right? You're going to have the pasta as the top base, the pasta sheet over the top, and you're going to have some cheese on it. Now, if you put another lasagna on top of it, the bottommost layer of that lasagna, of the second lasagna, is going to be pasta sheet. It's going to be a lasagna sheet, right? So the moment you put a lasagna sheet on top of a lasagna sheet, you've then created a sort of a divider between the two lasagnas. So if you take off the top, the cheese off the top of the first lasagna, and you take off the top sheet of lasagna, so you got the pasta, you got the lasagna sheet, the meat, and the tomato sauce, let's say, and then you put the second lasagna on top. Technically, the pattern would continue and you'd be going on and on and on. So that's my point. So I personally think it's two still, as it is without any modifications, and she seems to think it's one. Now, I don't get that, okay? It's like if you get a Big Mac from McDonald's and you get another Big Mac from McDonald's and you put a Big Mac on top of a Big Mac, you've still got two Big Macs because you've got the buns, which are the divider, right? And so my point that I've been trying to get across to her, which she doesn't seem to understand, is that you've got a divider. If you take the divider off, then there's more of an argument to say it's one lasagna. That's my point. She doesn't seem to get that. She still seems to think it's one. And we've been going back and forth on this for quite some time. And it's... yeah, so we've kind of not fallen out, but we've had a mutual disagreement, and basically, I'm right and she's wrong. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. And I think the thing is this is the same person. Sorry, I keep cutting, I know. This is the same person who I asked how many holes does a straw have? And her first answer to me was 3. Now, how on earth can you have 3 holes in a straw? How can you draw that conclusion? How can it possibly be 3? Right, surely it's either 0, which is a bit of a strange theory I came up with, which I still think is wrong. 1 hole, which I think is the answer, because a hole is just a giant straw. It's got 2 openings, and then obviously you can make the point that it's 2 holes, but I still don't think it's 2 holes because it's still technically the same hole. It's like saying, how can I explain it? It's not. I haven't got a really good example. Let's say I decided to dig a hole, and I kept digging, and I ended up all the way into China. Okay, you would have 1 hole. Now, I'm not sure logistically if that would work if you kept digging over and over and over again, whether you'd eventually end up getting to another place like that, and I'm not 1000% sure, okay, but I'm not convinced, okay, I'm not convinced. I'm confident that a tunnel is 1 hole. It's got 2 openings, but it's still 1 hole, as far as I'm concerned. So those have been our conversations. Now, I have spoken to my other co-workers, who work in IT, about this, and they all seem to think that I'm flirting with her. Now, the problem that I've got is actually very simple. I don't know how to flirt. I'm just going to say it as it is. I don't know how to flirt, okay? But they seem to think that it's flirting. To me, it's just normal conversation. It's conversation that doesn't have a closed-based answer, so it's not yes and no, and it's thought-provoking. And that is the conversations that I enjoy having with people. And what makes it a lot better as well is when you know that the other person's wrong, but you get them to explain how they come to the conclusion. Now, I must admit, when Blue told me the reasoning for how there can be 3 holes in a straw, I did lose brain cells that day. Not that I had many to start off with, but I feel like I genuinely did get a little bit dumber listening to it. I just laughed at her, to be honest. I just laughed at her. I know that's like not a really kind thing to do, but it was so funny that I just couldn't. I just couldn't. The same night, I went to bed still laughing because of it. And I'm not making fun of her. I'm not calling her thick, but that was utterly hilarious. So that's Blue. She's very pretty. There's no doubt about that. She currently has a boyfriend, which I'm honestly absolutely ecstatic about. I'm really glad that she's found someone who is going to be able to make her happy. And I hope this guy doesn't let her down, because she really is truly brilliant, and she deserves all the happiness in this world that she can get. Hi guys, thank you for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it. In the next video I'm going to talk about Red. To be honest, this video went on for quite some time, and I decided that I didn't really want to make too long of a video, and to be honest it was a pretty nice cut to end the video. So if you guys did enjoy, leave a like. It lets me know that you're enjoying the content. If there's anything that you want me to talk about in an upcoming video, please do leave a comment down in the comment section below. And what I'll do probably at the start of every video is I'll go through the comments and I'll quickly just respond to them in the video if you want a free shout or anything like that. I just thought it would be quite a nice thing to do. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for watching.